Hello everybody, welcome into MLB The Show 21. I am very excited to announce that I am finally starting my franchise up on this game, as the full minor league rosters came out at the time I'm recording this, and I am finally going to get the chance to bring this to you guys. I wanted to wait until full minors came out, and then that was going to kind of give me the green light to start up on this series. I think it's the most optimal way to play franchise, and it's the way I wanted to present it to you guys. So let's go ahead and go over this. As you can see by the roster scrolling over your screen, the title, the thumbnail, all that jazz, we're going to be using the Texas Rangers. The Rangers are my hometown team. They're the team I pretty much grew up watching whenever they were in the World Series against the Cardinals, and I've pretty much watched them decay to where they are now. And given that they're in this position, they are kind of going in and accepting that they're rebuilding, I'm deciding to go ahead and step in and hopefully bring this team a championship within this series. So before we go ahead and meet the team, I do want to go over some basic formatting things, just so we can kind of touch base on how this series is going to look on the channel. So first of all, I'm not going to have a set amount of games that I'm going to play per season, similarly to my Jets franchise, especially in these first few years as the team isn't that great. I don't necessarily care about playing too many games, especially in this first season, just because there aren't many changes that I can really make to the team in its current state, and so I don't really have that many reasons to play a ton of games. I feel like it's a waste of my time and your time, because I'd prefer to see the team and the prospects develop rather than taking it super slow, especially in the beginning. Now, as time goes on, I might play a few more games per season. Like, for example, once we get really good, once we're actually competing, I might play like one game per month. But in this first year, I think I'm only going to be playing like opening day, a game around the trade deadline, and then maybe one game to the end of the year, depending on how we're doing. But even then, that's still up in the air. Now, as for how I overall plan on going about this series is going to go on until we win a World Series. That's pretty much my goal, especially because I think it's going to take a lot longer, especially when you compare this franchise to my Jets franchise and Madden. I think that this is going to take like at least 3 to 5 years before we even become competitive. So it's going to be a while, but that's pretty much my goal, is to end it right around when we win a World Series. Again, depending on how it is, depending on where the team's at. If I still am having a ton of fun, I'll keep on playing, especially depending on where, viewership and response is. So we'll just kind of play it by ear there. But now it is time to go ahead and meet the team. So I'm not going to be touching too much on the minor league prospects and the farm system, and that's only because I'm still deciding on how I want to go about presenting those to you guys, whether I want to do some sort of mini series with the prospects or not. So again, we'll see how that works out. Maybe I don't do anything and I'll just kind of go over them, but again, I'm just kind of leaving that option open for myself down the road. So we're just kind of going to talk about some of the major players that I really want to be future pieces on the major league roster. I'm not going to be going over everybody, just highlighting a couple of key players. So first of all, of course, Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo in MLB 20 The Show, so last year's game was really awful. However, he's supposed to be a lot better in this year's game, and I really hope that he is, because I want him to be one of the key cornerstones that will help us in that World Series run in those coming years. Another player that is going to be huge to this rebuild is second baseman Nick Solak. This guy is versatile. He's got great stats, A potential. Super excited to see how he develops. And then another one is Willie Calhoun. Kind of been waiting on him to break out as this designated hitter / corner outfielder. Hopefully we can have his breakout season happen within these first 2 years. He's a great hitter, again, just doesn't do much in the field, which is why his overall is low, but his potential is nice, and that's always what you love to see. And then I was actually thinking about moving Willie Calhoun over to first base. However, the Rangers made a trade for the former Tampa Bay Ray Nate Lowe in the offseason, and so far Nate Lowe, at least in real life, has looked pretty good, so he actually looks like he could be a potential future first baseman for us, so we'll make sure to keep an eye out on him. And then, of course, in center field, we have Adolis Garcia, who has started off this season in real life really nicely. The guy already has like 8 home runs, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's looked really nice to start out the year. Of course, it could be a streak, so his overall isn't super high in franchise, but who knows, maybe he could be a player for us. I doubt he develops into anything crazy, but of course, it would be nice to see. And then some other guys that I don't know if I have screenshots of are Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Kohei Arihara, one of the pitchers, which actually is a good transition because despite having a lot of good ball players throughout the lineup, this pitching staff leaves a lot to be desired. The starting rotation went from Lance Lynn, Mike Minor, and Corey Kluber last year to Dane Denning, Kohei Arihara, Kyle Gibson, Yang, and Mike Folty. It's just not very good. And then in the bullpen, we have Brett Martin, Jonathan Hernandez, and Jose Leclerc, who are all guys who I hope can be a part of the future here, but the rest, pretty forgettable. Not really thinking about many of these guys. So pitching is definitely going to be a major focus of improvement, probably through free agency, as we want to try to keep as much of the talent that we have, our prospects, and so we're not going to be making too many trades unless there's an amazing offer or player out there. But other than that, that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to talk about within this first episode. So in the coming days, you guys should see the opening day game come out. But other than that, thank you all for watching this episode, and I will see you all in the next one.